Is a question on Voronoi diagrams, and we can see in the first one here we have different points A to E which represent the shelters in the national forest. So for the first one we're just trying to find the gradient of the line segment from A to E. So from A to E is this line here, so that's the part that we're looking at, and we are told initially in the question what the coordinates of A and E are. So if we just zoom out again there, we can see what they are. So when we're finding the gradient, it is the change in y divided by the change in x. So we can see there, looking at the A and the E coordinates, the change in y is going to be 3 minus 1, and then the change in x is 7 minus 3. So we have 3 minus 1 divided by 7 minus 3, and that gives me 2 over 4, or 1/2, or if you prefer you can write it as a decimal, as 0.5. Any of those answers would be fine. So there's 1 mark for the method, and there is 1 mark for the answer. So 1 for some sort of method and 1 for some sort of answer. And then the second part of the question, here we're asked to find the equation of the line which completes the Voronoi diagram for the cell containing E. So here we're asked to plot on essentially the perpendicular bisector of A and E, and that would complete the section with the cell for E. We know that whenever we have a line that we're trying to find, it fits the form y minus y1 equals x minus x1. We know that it goes through the midpoint, which we've just found. We haven't found, so we need to find that. So the midpoint of A and E would be, if we go back to our coordinates, A is 3, 1, and E is 7, 3. So 3, 1, and 7, 3. So the midpoint is 3 plus 7, the 2x coordinates added together and divided by 2, and 1 plus 3, the 2y coordinates added together and divided by 2. And we can see there that that would fall on 10 over 2, comma 4 over 2. So the midpoint is 5, 2. So we can substitute into our equation a y coordinate of 2 and an x coordinate of 5, because we know that it goes through the midpoint. And then we need the gradient of this line. This is the perpendicular line, perpendicular to the original line going through A and E. And the original line was a gradient of 1/2. So that means that the gradient here would be minus 2, because it's the perpendicular bisector, so you flip it upside down and make it negative. And then the question has asked us to leave it in the format of this. So we're now going to just rearrange. So y minus 2 equals minus 2x plus 10. So just rearranging there. And then if I add 2 to both sides, minus 2x plus 12. And then if I put everything on one side, it doesn't actually matter which side, you would get the marks either way. And now I have everything equal to 0. So for this one, the marks were 3 marks. 1 is for seeing this minus 2. 1 is for seeing the substitution of the midpoint, and finding the midpoint correctly. And then the other is for the final answer here.